Hi students, we're going to look at actually fixing the hair on our model now. So what we're going to do is we're going to start filling in some of the gaps. You can see there's a nice big gap here. We're also going to remove any stray hairs. We're going to fix this gap over here, fix this gap, and we're also going to take away some of this hair here and adjust the overall hair value. We'll fix that and give it a little bit more sheen. So to do that, what we're going to do or the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to select an area of the hair here that needs to be fixing the gaps in here. So we have gaps where light is coming through the hair here, and we'd rather it not be so that it looks nice and full. To do this, I'm going to make a selection of the area that I want to get the hair from. So over here, I'm going to select this little area right in here where I can actually see some nice hair. And it's a somewhat same value, same color. And if I need to, I can fix those things, but I've got this nice little selection here. The thing is if I come over here and I start this, I am on my facial features here. That's not going to work. I don't have any place to get this unless I go back down to the original layers down there, and I'm not going to do that. So the thing that I'm going to want to do next is I want to actually make a copy of the background. To do this, I'm going to get Alt, Command, Shift, and E, or Control E, and get this up here so that I can get a composite layer. Once I have this composite layer, then I can actually do a command and a command C and a command V to copy and paste. We're going to move this little hair section over here to this area. The hairs are now going the wrong direction. They're actually curving away. To fix this, we're going to go to Edit and then Transform and Flip Horizontal. This will actually flip this hair back the direction that we need it to go. So then we can put it in place. It's not going to fit in place perfectly yet because we need to make it do that. So I've overcut this. I made sure that I cut a big enough swatch that I can actually get this to work in here properly. We're going to go to Edit, and then we're going to go to Puppet Warp down here, and this is going to put in this nice little mesh here. If the mesh isn't showing up, you can always turn the mesh on by clicking the mesh button right here. We're going to then put a pin up here at the top so that the pin doesn't, or that the top doesn't move. We're going to come down here, put a pin here, and click and hold, and pull this around to where we want it. Now I'm going to cover a little bit of her face up. That's okay here, because what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and put another pin right here and pull and drag it this way. Now I've got too much hair and the hair's just kind of fitting in there just right. I may need to narrow this down just a little bit, so I'm going to narrow it down a little bit and just kind of push everything together a little. And that's going to make for a much better area of hair that I'm trying to get to fill in. And once I've got this filled the way I want it here, or that's done the way I want it, I'm just going to hit the Enter key, or I can hit the Commit key right up here. So once that's done, I'm going to put that there like that. I'm going to hide this for just a second, grab my lasso tool, and come around the cheek here with the lasso tool, just like this. And make sure that there we go, just a nice overall area here. I'm going to turn this back on, and I'm going to hit the mask key here. And that's going to mask it, and I've just put that area there. We're going to invert this mask real quick. There we go, just like that. Now you can see that the hair is a little too dark, so what we're going to do is we are going to add a curves layer directly above it, and then we're going to clip that to the layer so that you'll get this little arrow pointing down at this layer. It's only affecting this layer, so that when I pull up on this, I can actually brighten that hair up and get it to just about where I want it. And I'm going to put a little bit of a S-curve in here, just a slight bit of one, so I can keep the blacks and brighten it up just a slight bit. There we go. So that's a little bit better. Now it's still not blended in really well, so we need to blend it a little bit better. You could try a blending mode and see if a blending mode works, but most likely that's going to show the white of the background out, so we don't want to do that. But we need to blend this hair in with this. You can see that the curve of the hair is at the right angle, but we've got too much hair here, and we'd like to show some of the original hair through. We're going to come back down here to this mask, and grab a brush and make sure that it is on a black brush, and so that it conceals. And we're going to shake this down to somewhere about 25% and get me a much smaller brush here. And then I'm just going to start painting in here and just blending the hairs together so that that this starts to work and it looks like it should be there. So as you can see, it's starting to look just like it's actually supposed to be there. Now I'm going to do that a lot more down here, and especially right here. This is definitely outside of the region here that it needs to be. I'm going to let a little bit of that light in the background show. I overdid it there just a little bit, but I'm going to let a little light show just through these edges here, so that it looks a little bit more natural. And I just get this nice and blended. And once it's blended the way I want it, I'm done with that area. I'm going to come up here, and above this, I'm going to create a new healing brush layer. And I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to heal this area right here and get rid of any of this junk stuff here that I don't need. Now, if I get this, and this happens a lot, I may have to come in with the clone tool or the regular healing brush and get rid of this. This worked great for the clone tool since this is a nice white background. Sometimes that won't work very well because the white background here is very even. If I had some kind of other weird background or something back there, that might not work. So just be aware of that. But this looks really beautiful now over on this side. Let's go over here and take a look at this. So we're going to add in another feathering. So we're going to grab some feathering right in from here to add here. So to do this, we're just going to grab our marquee tool here, or that tool, and we're going to come in and just grab some of this hair. And I got to be again, I have to be down here on this composite layer, copy and paste it. And once it's pasted in there, I can move this down here to where I want it. And look how nicely that's already started lining up. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to start blending it. So I'm going to add a mask in here. And grab me a brush and start blending this so that it actually blends together. So I want these hairs to blend nicely together. Sometimes it might be necessary to bring in a healing brush to actually fix this. And I'm going to come around here and just add a little bit of her cheek back in the sections here. And that actually made it blend nicely. And just depending on what I want to show through here, I think I've overdone it here. So I'm going to bring this back, and I'm just going to bring some of that hair back that was right in here. And that gets that hair in there. And that looks fairly nice now. Like I said, if I need to, I could always come back up here, grab the spot healing brush, create a new layer just above this, and just do a little bit of healing right in here so that it blends a little bit nicer. And there I have it. So that should take care of what I want it to look like. If I need to, I can go a little bit further here. I feel like I really need to let this show through a little bit more right in here. So, or blend it in a little bit more. So there we go. That's a little bit better now, so that it's a little bit more stable. Once I have that done, I'm going to come over here and do the next little section. And this section is going to come from this hair right in here. Now this one I'm going to have to get a nice curve to it to actually make it work. So I need a big section of it. I'm going to come back down to this layer here and Command copy and paste. And once that's in place, I'm going to move this over. Now this is going to fill in this gap over here on this side. It has to be fairly long to fit in here. We're going to rotate it, so I'm just going to grab the corner here and rotate this so that I can actually get it closer to where it needs to fit. I'm just going to put it in place, and then we're going to go back to Puppet Warp. So I'm going to hit OK on that. I'm going to come down to Puppet Warp, and then we're going to warp this into place. The first thing I'm going to do is put a pin here in the center this time, and then that way I can when I bend this, it bends there, but then I can come down here and finish bending it here. And I'm going to have to work with this until I get it just in the right place. I may have to move, move things until I get them just right. And just keep in mind that this is sometimes, you have to stretch it and everything to get it just the way you want it. If you find something's not quite working, you can bend it another way or this way or that way until you get it corrected the way you want it. Once it is in place and you've got it the way you want it, I'm going to mask it again, bring in a brush, and started blending this in. So I'm going to just start blending this hair in right here. I'm on the wrong color here, so I need to make sure that I'm on black. And I'm going to start blending this in a little bit. And I might want to show just a little bit of, like I said, that background through. It makes it look more like a would if if it was real. So, and here in this case, I'm going to come around here with this brush and just get this right up to where those edge of where that those original hairs were, so that I actually am getting some of the original hairs out here on the outside edge. And what that does is it just makes it look a little bit more natural. And there I've got that nicely blended in so far. I'm going to finish blending it down here at the bottom. So I'm going to come back down here and just finish blending this in a little bit. And I had a little high on the blending part there, and just get this nicely filled in. You can see how that's just making those hairs come through, and it starts to look so natural. There we go. And we've got that part of the hair done. We've got this gap filled, and now that the only thing really left is we got a little tiny gap here. This one's an easy one. We're just going to grab the healing or the spot healing brush, make sure that we're on a layer that we can do that on, and which I'm not at the moment. Let's see. Let's go up here, and there's a nice little healing area there, and I can fix those two little spots there. Come down here and just check this, and yes, I got a little spot here that I would like to fill in, and that filled that in nicely right there. I might want to fix these hairs in a bit, and I can do that, but right now what we're going to do is we're going to take care of this area right here. To do that, what we're going to do is we're just going to make a selection around this, just like this. And I don't want to lose any of her skin here. There we go. And we'll come back up here, hit enter on my keyboard, and that will find that end for me. What I'm going to do is, since I got a nice white background out here, and this works best with this kind of background, of course, I can come out here and then just clone this all in here like this and fix it just like that. Now, this is going to be overdone, so we're going to deselect it. It's a little too straight and too and doesn't have enough. It makes it look kind of fake. So what we're going to do here is just on this layer that we just did all this cloning on, I'm going to add a mask to it, and I'm going to bring back some of the hairs. So I'm just going to slowly bring in some hairs and just bring them back in a little bit at a time here, and just a little bit of hair coming in just to show, so that it looks a little bit more natural, like there was some hair there, but not so much that, oh, yeah, that's what I wanted. I said oops there for no reason. And that actually starts to make it feel much more like it just naturally, that there's some natural stuff going on here. And that doesn't look so good, so we're going to fix that. Just getting this the way I want it, a little bit of just to make it look natural. There we go, that's better. Now as I pull back, I won't be able to see that as much, and that'll be nice. All right, so we're also going to come over here and look at getting rid of some of these hairs on her neck. There are quite a few of them. We've also got a splotch on her neck there. Since this is a nice healing layer, we'll just grab the spot healing brush and just fix that. And I'm going to shrink this a lot and fix this other blemish on her neck. And we'll take care of this. Again, I would have frequency separated her neck here, so this would take care of some of the issues here. But I want to get rid of some of these hairs here, just because there's too many, and I'd like to be able to see her neck just nice and clean. So we'll remove some of those, and one of these down here. We'll come up here around her head and take a look around her head real quick, and see if there's any hairs that need to be removed. A little bit right there. Come up here, and yeah, we can take care of that one probably. I'll leave the rest of these so it looks a little bit more natural. Maybe remove something like that. We're going to fill in this area and this area a little bit here. So to do that, I'm just going to grab the clone tool, and we're going to create a new layer again, just so if I make any mistakes, I'm not going to make them so bad that I can't fix it. I'm just going to fix this area right in here, just like this. And once I have that done, it looks pretty good actually, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to back off, and there's her hair now, the way it should look. Now, the last thing that we're going to do with this is to brighten up her hair a little bit and give it a little bit more sheen. To do this, I'm just going to do an overall curves layer. So I'm just going to go to curves here. I know that the values mostly for this are going to be in the really dark areas right here. So I'm just going to pull up on those and try to find that nice balance there where I get some sheen to it without pulling up on the black so much that I can't see any dark values. This is actually looking really good for hair, so let's just turn this on and off and look at the hair. That looks much better. So we're going to invert the mask, and that way it brings all of our values back for the rest of the model. Come zoom in here and then come in really tight, and we're just going to brush in that value for the curves in the hair, so that we get that nice values that we want. And you can see as I work on this with a white brush, starting to bring those values in. There's an area that I don't want to brush. I can always just avoid that area to keep it from getting brightened. Like I'm avoiding this right here, but I might come right below it. I'm just going to make those hairs come out, really just make them stand out a lot better. Right now it needed it really badly. I'm going to zoom back out just a slight bit so I can work on this hair a little bit easier this way. There we go. And this way I can brighten. Be careful if I do get onto my shoulders or something here, I might end up, or in the background, you could end up softening something that you don't want and creating some haloing effects. So try to avoid getting outside. Really too soft a brush can also cause that issue. I may need to go around and clean up my mask if I have to a little after I'm done, just to make it work better. So as you can see, I'm starting to really get there with the values in the hair. And this is just a little bit of a dodge and burn for the hair here itself, and cleaning this up. And we're just about done here. Got this nice and cleaned up. I'm about to the whitest white that I can get on my mask there. This is my hair as it is now. We're going to put these all together into a hair folder. So let's just put this into the folder here, and then we'll just call this folder hair. Now you notice I didn't add in this layer because I'm actually going to remove this and throw this away because I don't need it any longer. So I've removed it. Now I have hair and my facial features. The next thing that we're going to take a look at is we're going to take a look at liquify and how to use the liquify tool on our subject and how to sharpen. So the next video is on those.